Hey guys, welcome back to the Certified Fangirl Podcast. Today I'm joined by Anna from Neverlyn, and trust me, she does everything. From music to tarot to working behind the scenes in merch and production, she's the definition of DIY. We get into how the AP tour changed her and why she's not letting herself be put into any box. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Certified Fangirl Podcast, where we celebrate fandom, spotlight the people behind the music, and bridge the gap between fans and the music industry. I'm here with Anna Neitzel, right?
Neitzel, yeah.
Neitzel. Okay, see, I never know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, no, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
Everyone pronounces it wrong. It's okay.
I know, being named Kanan, it's like, yes, I understand. So would you like to give the listeners a brief intro about yourself?
Sure. So my name's Anna. I sing in a band called Neverlyn, and I also work in music production and merchandising.
What was the first band or artist that made you love music, and then how did that translate into wanting to create your own?
So the first band that I really connected with, like all on my own, that I just super fell in love with, I was 11, and it was Never Shout Never. And that was like my little heart band in middle school. And then when I realized I wanted to start my own band, it was actually so funny. It was such a specific moment. It was the AP tour, and I forget what year, but it was Never Shout Never, Hey Monday, The Cab, and the Somerset. And I think one more.
That was like 2010 or 2011 or something like that.
It was, I feel like it was like 2010 or 2009.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And they released like a video, like a tour video of everyone hanging out on the tour. And I just had this moment of like, oh, I want to do that. Like, I want to make music with my friends and I want to travel. And like, that's something that looks like I want to be a part of. And that was sort of the first vision I had of seeing myself there. Like, oh, that looks like something I want to do. And
was it
like 11?
I was gonna say, I just looked it up. It was 2010, so
okay.
That was just like such a specific, that neon scene era, like that influenced so many of us, and it was like a happy time, I feel like, in the music scene. I mean, I don't know if you got like made fun of for liking those bands or anything like that.
Completely. Like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like showing up to the 2010 Warped Tour, like stoked for Never Shout Never. Like all these other, and I liked metal band, like I liked a bunch of metalcore stuff too, and I liked heavier music, but that, like, I was definitely visibly a Never Shout Never fan. Like, I'm this tiny middle school girl, and all these like OG Warped Tour guys, they're like, fuck are you doing here?
You know, you held your own though, right? Like,
right. And like, I feel like that's why I was so protective over Olivia Rodrigo fans, like those little girls that people are like, Olivia Rodrigo's not punk rock. Yeah, brother, you're so right. But if that's the introduction that these young, like, we're talking like 8 years old, 10-year-old girls discovering a different sound and a different type of music that they might connect to, who gives a fuck if it's through Olivia Rodrigo? You know what I mean? Like, if it's good and it's getting people connecting to music and getting people into the door of maybe other types of genres and things, like, I don't know, why are you going to be a bitch about it?
Exactly. I mean, with Olivia Rodrigo pulling inspiration from Paramore, and then people getting that conversation going, and then from Paramore they could discover another band and then have that kind of gateway experience.
Exactly.
So then how did you like discover Never Shout Never or these artists?
MySpace. Unrestricted internet access, baby.
They really just let us go wild.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like thinking back to the AOL like chat rooms and that whole time. So yeah, it was so just the parental kind of advisory wasn't there. We weren't people just letting us do what we wanted to do. Exactly. Yeah. MySpace was amazing. And I feel like having that experience is so different from music discovery now. And I don't know if you had like bands in the DMs being like, listen to our new single, Be Our Friend.
Yes. Comments on the profile.
Yes, exactly. So were you, this is a long time ago, obviously from the AP tour from 2010. So do you remember like the specific moment that you were like, I want to do that? You said it was watching Never Shout Never, or it was just like being in that room or that space?
It was actually a MySpace video. It was like a tour update of all of the bands hanging out at like some bowling alley or something. And I just was like, oh, like, yeah, that, like, I love music. I was already writing my own like little songs in my poetry book at that time, you know? So like I had vision of being an artist, but it wasn't like, I fell in love with sort of that full picture, if that makes sense. Like I saw, which I guess, you know, it's funny now on the other side of it, like it's so not the full picture. Like it's like at the tiniest little glimpse of like joy blown up to make it seem like it's always like that, right? So it totally was not the full picture. But in my little 11-year-old eyes, I was like, oh my gosh, like, so you get to make music and play it for other people and connect with all these people, and you get to hang out with your friends while you do it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's enough to kind of get that spark going of, I don't care how hard it is. This is my dream. I'm going to make it happen.
Right.
You know, especially for, you know, little 11-year-old Anna. What was your first like performance, like live performance?
My first live performance, it probably would have been, other than like recital, you know, like more like recital type stuff when I was younger, it would have been with Nisha when we first started Neverlyn. I was 16 and we performed. Well, our first like actual show that got booked was at a venue that no longer exists. It was at the bus stop in Stockton. Wow. And it was like a little cafe room. And Nisha and I, we were thinking, like, when we got the show offered, we were like, oh, well, it'll probably be like, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 kids there, like thinking people more closer to our age, like, I don't know, more people sort of that listened to what we listened to or that were a little more into what we were into. Some, which in hindsight, I think it's cool that we got the show offered to us at all, but it was like 2 or 3 other pretty well established like locals. Like they had vinyl and they had all this stuff, and they were like 20, like mid-20s, late 20-year-old men, and there was like no one else there. It was, when we played to like 12 dudes that were like in their mid to late, and again, I'm like 16 years old. Like I'm pretty sure we played like a Bowling for Soup cover at one of the songs, like and we just had these dudes sitting there like watching us, just like, and they were all super nice, but it was like so nerve-wracking. Like it was already like our first show, and then like now it's not even to fans, it's to like other bands and like men that are much old, like, I mean, almost a whole decade older than me. I was like, okay. But they were super nice and they were very encouraging. I'm sure it was god awful, but
did they come up to you afterward and like sing your praises, or were
and they're super sweet, and they were like, oh, you guys are really cool. Like, I don't remember exactly, you know, I was still like shaking in my freaking boots. But
do you get stage fright in that way like anymore, or was that just when you were first starting?
More when we were first starting. I mean, I think there was an artist that Shaky Graves, he answered an interview question once where someone asked if he got nervous, and I just really respected it. And he said, I think unless you're made of stone, everyone gets a little, like
the adrenaline going.
Yeah, a little, or like a little sensation going on. I mean, like performing can be I guess for some people, maybe it's just fully natural to get up and be seen. But a lot of artists, it's about expression and it's a vulnerable thing. So, I mean, I guess I get either side of it, like feeling totally fearless. Maybe if you just feel super natural on stage, but I know for myself, like I just feel more of a writer in a lot of ways, like getting up on stage and then like pouring it out in person. It's just such a different feeling, you know?
Yeah. Do you feel like you kind of like disassociate when you're on stage, or is it more like you're trying to be like in your body at that time, or are you like in a constant practice?
It's a constant practice. No, but I feel like I'm mostly in my body. I kind of feel like I almost go somewhere else. Like it's not, and not in a disassociated way, but like I just am really in my own bubble of what I'm saying, which like I'm trying to get better at, I guess, opening that, like sharing that energy in a way. Like I feel like I kind of have like in my own experience and I am being observed in that energy, whereas I guess I'm hoping people are sensing it and matching it and having their own experience, like connecting based off of that. But it's definitely something I'd like I try to work on as a performer myself, is like opening that up and I guess being more aware of other people's experience. There's something to be said about being so focused on your own experience and trusting that other people are, you know, responsible for theirs in like the most respectful sense, that like people have their own universe going on inside of them, you know, that's just as vibrant and complex as my own. And so if I'm performing in my bubble, that they're in their bubble and they're having just as in depth of an experience, even if it's not the same as mine, if that makes sense.
Oh, totally. When you first got up on stage and you were performing with Neverlyn and you guys started to perform more often, were you ever trying to like emulate someone else's, not necessarily stage presence, but like just like the way that they had carried themselves from like you being a fan of someone else? Or were you trying to create your own unique? Yeah.
I definitely tried to create my own unique sort of presence, and I feel like over time I've done that. But I remember when we were first starting, there were 3 front people that I really respected, and I was like, I just think that they have such a presence to them. No shocker, Hayley Williams, like
Duh.
my queen, my everything. But I learned how to hold a microphone cord because of her. I watched a video of her performing and she jumps around a lot, and I realized that she loops it. So if she steps on it, she doesn't unplug her microphone. And I was like, that's really smart. I need to start doing that. The other one that was a little more, maybe not so predictable, but Jeremy McKinnon from A Day to Remember. He just has such a presence to him when he's on stage. Like, I don't think I do anything that is specifically or like physically reminiscent of Jeremy McKinnon, but just that energy. I don't know. Just watching him, I was like, oh, he's very, I don't know, commanding of his performance. Like he's just so there, you know? And then the third one, Jenna McDougall from Tonight Alive.
Yeah, yes.
And I would say it's not so similar to her, but I do a lot of like arm swinging, like punching, like I hit my
Feel
chest.
powerful, right? Does it feel powerful for you to like?
Yeah, well, and it's very physically expressive, which is, like I said, my whole performance is just like Anna's personal therapy time. I'm hoping other people are relating to.
Yes.
So yeah, it's super cathartic. And her movement and the way she did more of like, I feel like she did more of like these like boxing like punches, and I don't so much do that, but it was still seeing her move her body in that way as she was performing. I was like, oh, that's cool.
That's so true, because when I look at people's performances, like you can feel, like you said, the commanding presence that they have, but looking at like their body movements is just, I feel like don't often bring up. And when I think of like Jenna, I feel like with her, she's very like a yogi and is very like flexible and does all these kind of movements, and it's a very interesting way of like translating the music as well, like through her body, and like Lee and Jeremy as well. It's just, you can feel the music in multiple ways than them just like standing up there and singing the words.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. I know I have yet to see you guys perform, so I need to do that whenever.
Yeah, we need to play in LA more. And it's
So I was like, when you're in SoCal, I will come to a show. So speaking of which, tell us about like the current state of Neverlyn, like where are you guys at right now, especially following the release of your album last year, Velvet Coffin.
We have stuff that we're writing, stuff that's ready to record, just haven't hit the studio yet for it. Kind of floating, honestly. We have some shows we're announcing soon. People can look forward to that if you're in the Bay Area. We're really just sort of taking in all the work we did with Velvet Coffin. Like as an independent band, it takes so much to get an album up and out and make music videos self-funded and, press vinyl self-funded and do everything yourself, true DIY. It's just a lot. It's very demanding. So we're kind of just enjoying the ride as of right now and seeing what flows through and kind of going from there.
Okay, awesome. Well, looking forward to those show announcements. I feel like being a DIY band is like so people don't really realize how much goes into that.
Right.
Like pulling it out of your own pocket and trying to make your dreams come true. So
Yeah. It's just expensive. I mean, I think people don't realize how much of a barrier like financial circumstances in music. I mean, I think that if there would be so many more bands and artists if we all had rich parents.
Yeah, just getting the money to get you through there, like label or like a management.
Right.
Push them forward and kind of get them through that door. Like once you get through the door, it's a lot easier.
I feel like what's not talked about so much on the business side of things is that there is no such thing as artist development anymore. Like it's not like the 80s or like even the 90s where it's like you were a cool garage band and you made cool songs and a label was like, oh yeah, well like we'll clean you up. Like we'll sort of teach you how to be professional. It's like you're expected to learn and accomplish all of that on your own. And then once you're already making money and successful, like these people want to come in and sort of cherry pick and be like, okay, well now we can push you further. Now we can make it,
It's like, do you have this many followers? Do you have your whole concept figured out? Do you have your whole look? Okay, now we can kind of
right. And how do you get that? How do you tune into a sound? How do you get the look? How do you get the money for the clothes and for the hair? You have to already have money. You like it. It's not like you can have good songs and a good live performance and like, it's just super. I mean, I joke that nepotism runs the industry, but like it's almost like you can almost a lot of the time trace back to, oh, someone's parent has money. Like it's just the reality.
You're like, who's gonna adopt me?
I know.
Money for this. Like where you like adopt a grandparent and you're like, which one of these?
Right. And obviously it's not the case for every band, but it's just a lot, especially when you get up into like mainstream music. Like I think alt music, there is much more opportunity. But it's still like, especially mainstream, it's like you're like, oh, who's this up and comer? Oh, like that their parent is this person. Or their parent is wealthy, or their parents started this business, or whatever it is, right?
You said you've been working in multiple sides of the industry. You said you do production, you were doing merch for a few bands and working with them, and then also you obviously sing and write in your band. What do you think the biggest like differences are in how you're perceived and treated in the space? Like, or is there like a large difference? Like, do you think when you're doing merch for a band versus being like the front person, do you think that there's a lot of people perceive you differently or treat you in a different way? Or do you think people are mostly, I don't necessarily say like kind, but just different?
Yeah, I think it is definitely different. But I think it has less to do with me and more to just do with like the overall industry. Like artists are more, and like rightfully so, like, I don't know, it's just, how do I word this? it's kind of the dynamic of the industry. Like artists are coddled and workers are, there's a much more, it's just a much harsher sort of camaraderie and vibe with crew. But I also at the same time feel like crew, how do I word this? Almost like I feel taken more seriously as a crew person because I don't want to say it's perceived as, I'm like, want to word this carefully because I don't want it to get misconstrued. Crew, I think, is perceived as more difficult because it is more demanding in a lot of ways. Not that being an artist isn't difficult, because obviously I know both sides of this. They're just different types of difficult, but this is going to be such a heinous comparison. If anyone's ever worked in a restaurant, the front of house versus back of house, like kitchen staff versus wait staff, like sort of energetic, that there's like people joke like, oh, kitchen staff thinks that wait staff has it easier because they're not back there like with all of the heat and the physicality of the labor of cooking and all this blah blah blah, and the wait staff is like, well, you don't have to deal with people, like you're not at the tables, like you're not the face of things, blah blah blah. And it's like both are difficult in their own way. But there still is like a toughness, I guess, to the back of house, and like being, I guess that would be like in this metaphor here, like a crew position, there's still like a respect to how tough that job can be. So I don't know, I feel like I'm just taken more seriously when I tell people I work as a crew person or blah blah blah. I also feel like, okay, to be like that, it all circles back to nepotism. I feel like it's a lot harder to buy your way into a respected crew position than it is to buy yourself into the industry. Because with enough money, you can get yourself into the industry. Like people can buy onto tours. If daddy can get you a bus, you can create the optics that you're bigger than you are. Like you can, it's much easier to buy yourself into an artist position. Like no one's buying into being a merch rep. You know what I mean? Like no one's like, well, I'll pay you. Like, I mean, maybe they are. I don't know. I haven't heard of it. Right. But I think maybe that's also, it's like if you have a crew position or you have worked your way up in crew positions, it's like you had to do that yourself. No one can boost you there. Like your own work ethic has to sort of prove that.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, it's like who's saying I'm gonna buy their way into
well, right. And who would allow it? Like just because you have money doesn't mean that you like know how to keep track of a trailer or like advanced shows. You know what I mean? Like
learning experience and working your way into there, like maybe volunteering and offering your time in that way, and then kind of proving that you're willing to put in the work and get that respect that way. So do you think that you're more well-rounded, that you've done all these different positions in like the industry?
100%. And I think people don't realize that like artists come and go, but there's crew people that have been working for 40 years in the more, you know what I mean? Like you have like these old road dogs that have been in it forever. They're like, I worked with the Rolling Stones, like back on their first tour. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even kidding. And it's like crew makes the industry go around. And so I think there's definitely young artists that don't fully understand the impact that the opinions of crew people, like how you treat people, how you show up professionally, if you respect other people doing their jobs, like, I see it with certain like young bands that they come in and they like are guest listed to a show and they treat the merchandiser at the show like shit, and the merchandiser's like, I'm best friends with your manager, like you might want to like
rethink that.
Like, is this how you're treating people out in public? Like, I'm gonna tattle on you to your management. Like, like, so I definitely think having experience on the crew end, it just gives you a more well-rounded view of how things work and how many hands it takes to make something happen, that like no one succeeds alone.
I love seeing like the inner workings of those kind of teams and how everyone just like has each other's back.
Right. Or even like a band, like, okay, I worked Bad Omens pop-up shop. And then I was lucky enough to be able to go and watch their show, and their production was amazing. I mean, I cannot say nice enough things about how awesome their set design was. They had lasers. I'm like, that got my production heart. As soon as the lasers got broken out, I was like, oh shit. I'm like, okay. But just watching that and thinking this is a feat of human connection. Like there are so many creative minds that went into making this happen, like, and so many people even just there working. Like, yes, we see the band on stage, but I mean, all of these other artists, the LD that is making the lights look as good as they are. You've got how many people that took the time to set up all of those screens during the day, and the steelworkers and the people that hung everything up and the people that helped create the visual artwork in the actual set that's getting shown. You have the fucking guy operating the lasers, making sure no one's getting blinded. You've got the pyro team. Like, there's so many people contributing to a performance of that caliber. And like, wow. I mean, just to not have a deep respect for all of those hands, it's couldn't be me.
Yes, it takes so many people to create one experience, and I think a lot of people don't realize how much really goes into all of that. I was kind of like a weird, a different type of teenager where I wanted to, going to the Warped Tour, I wanted to know who was tour managing, like Lisa Brownlee's tour managing. Okay, we got Kevin Lyman, was the founder. We have like Shelly Lynn Tada catering. Like, I wanted to know all of like the ins and outs of who ran the festival and like who, built this from the ground up. And I think that like people don't think about those kind of things, really. They just like see the artist on stage. Like, there are so many people, lights and audio and, like you said, merch.
Right.
Like, everybody has.
Yeah. Right. And I mean, even like the production manager that's making sure that everyone's getting fed and making sure like their after show food is there and coordinating their hotel pickups in the mornings. And like, there's so many people making it happen,
Do you TM as well, or
no?
You're like, nah.
When my TM couldn't get into Canada, got the hat put on. That was, oh my God, that was so funny. It was also the first day on this tour that it was like a VIP experience, but it wasn't like happening every day of the tour. It was only on like these like certain, I almost feel like maybe it was even like a fan giveaway. The first day lined up on merch in Canada, which is already its own beast. And then I was playing TM because our TM couldn't get into Canada. And then it was the day of this VIP thing. So I'm like trying to run around, organize I was like, okay, we're going to put all the hats on today. So no, not by choice.
Just kind of, accidentally,
for a couple days.
For a couple days. More experience to have. Just, maybe next time you can be front of house or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. No, you do not want me behind your board.
They're like, Anna can do everything. She has the most experience.
No. I'm like, yeah, okay. Keep me to my shirts. I can count. Okay. Like, here's the count I can sell.
So you also do tarot readings, which is, I've noticed, a big part of your identity as well. So how long have you been doing that, and what made you gravitate toward it?
I started reading tarot with my cousins when I was like a child, because my aunt had a tarot deck that she would like let us do like little readings on and pull cards with. So it's kind of something that's been around a long time. And I always grew up with a mom who was an original woo-woo girl she went and took astrology classes in San Francisco in like the 80s before the internet was such a widely accessible thing. And she does her own Eastern-based meditation practice. And I always grew up just sort of knowing like Western religion wasn't the only path or only answer to connection, like to a higher power or whatever source energy, whatever you want to like call it. And I think just having that open guidance, like having an aunt that gave us tarot cards and was like, oh yeah, like pull some cards, see what the book explanation says about it, and having a lot of neutrality around it. Like it's not this scary or weird or out there thing. That sort of is what got me into it. I really connected on my own with it, I would say when I was probably like 16. That's when I also started doing yoga. And yeah, I don't know, that was probably about the time that I was connecting a little deeper to myself, what I wanted. It's when I started Neverlyn. Yeah, about that time.
Yeah, everything just happened for you at 16.
Yeah, world just opened up. Well, when I left high school, that's funny because it's also when I left high school. I graduated at 16. So it was kind of like
you were just trying to like get out at that time. You were just trying to accelerate.
Yeah, like I just was so over the vibe. It's like, this isn't for me. But I was always a weird kid. I was always the weird kid that like everyone's parents loved. You know what I mean? They're like,
did you have like a core group of friends back then?
I was a true Gemini rising, social butterfly. I hung out with a lot of different groups. Okay, Alyssa Liu, Oakland ice skating baddie. I am so happy to have that like the world is getting alt girl sports representation because that was me. I played competitive basketball, but I had bright blue hair. And I went to Warped Tour, but I also lettered in basketball and like that, like played travel basketball. And it was such a, at the time, not common thing. It was like people stayed. Yes, it was like, and I remember I used to always say that super cliched, like labels are for soup cans. Because people would always be like, what are you? Are you like alt? Are you jock? Or you know, everyone was so obsessed with categorizing everyone. And I was like, I'm all of it. I'm none of it. Is it a shock that I came out as non-binary? Like this
everything and nothing.
I'm everything and nothing all at once.
Exactly. No, I mean, it's true though. Everyone wanted to categorize everything. And I feel like people still automatically want to box things into a category.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, how long ago was that? And now we're just now getting Alyssa Liu and people are like, wow, like we love to see it. And it was like, I was fighting for my life all those years ago.
This is so different. No, I love like representation like that is amazing. Yeah. I'm sure it was difficult because they're like, are you an alt girl or do you want to play basketball? Like, why can't you do both? Right. Why can't you do everything?
And that's what I did. I was like, and so I was and what that did, circling back to the original question for my social circle, is I just had such a wide net of people that I was connected to. I was really friends with a lot of people and a lot of different groups because I refused to put myself in some box and like, you have to be friends with, like, you have to have like this group of people. And and I did, and I had like core best friends, two of which who are still absolutely my, like two of the closest people in my life. Shout out Vanessa and Rachel. But yeah, as far as just like a group goes, I really did hang out sort of all over the map. It was everywhere.
Because high schools like can be very cliquey and people don't really want to venture out of their main like circle of friends and kind of meet new people and see what's out there.
And people are figuring out who they are, like not to like, I think it's also, that can be, it can be an element of safety, right?
Like these people understand me. They're the same as me. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to chance it. High school is so confusing. Middle school, high school. When I think about it, I want to go back and like redo certain things, but I don't want to have that element to it where it's, you don't know who you are, you feel awkward, or you're not sure of any of your decisions or anything that you're doing. So being that you had accelerated your high school experience, were you doing tarot like at this age? Was it also part of seeing what your future might have held for you?
Yeah, I think a little bit of that. Also just so much angst at that age, you know? So figuring out even just how to cope with my own emotions. But yeah, and like navigating decisions, navigating the future, everything. It's like, I don't know why that age, it feels like, so much pressure. It's like you have so much time and you have so many options. And for whatever reason, it feels like the sky is just falling.
When you're leaving high school?
Yeah. Like, which for me was at 16. I think for most people, 18. But that's sort of like, and maybe it's that societal pressure that it's like like we have grown up in a system that pushed that narrative. Like, you need to pick your major and you have to figure out what you want to do. And I just think that it's so unreasonable. Like, what 18-year-old really knows what they want to do?
Nobody knows that. Yeah, it's really, when you think about it, they kind of like map it out for you, or they try to,
Right.
where they're like, okay, you're right out of high school, you need to figure it out. Are you going to college? Are you going to go into the military because you have no direction? Or even career aptitude tests when you're younger. This is what you're meant to do, and I'm 13. What are you talking about? Like, can I just enjoy life and discover it? And I think it's really interesting how I've noticed people, myself included, who have kind of rediscovered themselves as they've gotten older and kind of done something different than when they were younger, different career paths, or like discovered a new passion, or kind of have newfound confidence in themselves to do something different.
Right.
Because like, it's ridiculous to try to ask an 18-year-old, like, what do you want to do for the rest of your life?
Right. And I think that there's nothing wrong with having a vision at 18 and going for it, and then recognizing when that vision changes. I think it's the pressure you have to stick to that thing. Like, actually, my best friend, she has such a funny story about this. When she was 18, she majored in communications at UCLA, and then she took a geography class, and she just absolutely fell in love with it. And she was like, no, this is what I want to do. And she went and she was switching her major from communications to geography at UCLA, which UCLA, their communications department is one of the toughest to get into. It's one of the most sought after. And her counselor was like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. And she asked her, I think she said like 4 times. And she was like, once we do this, we can't undo it. You can't get back into communications. And she was like, okay, well, I was sure when I came in here, like, yes. And she switched her major, and it absolutely has worked out for her. Like, that she worked for NASA. She is just like one of the absolute baddest bitches in my life. But she didn't see that for herself at 18. Like, she didn't see like doing this work when she was applying to college. It wasn't until she got there and she took a general ed class that she was like, oh, this is for me. And she had the bravery to switch, but how many people don't,
Yeah. Complacent or comfortable, or, have influences in your life telling you, don't do that. That's a mistake.
Right. Even just scared. Like, oh, well, this is a more stable program, and I feel safer doing it. And it's not my place to judge people for that. Like, the world is scary. Like, there's like a lot of weird, crazy shit happening. Like, I try to be really, empathetic towards other people's emotions and perspectives. And I get, like, that's terrifying to make that jump. But I think it'd be less terrifying if we normalized it more,
Yeah. Remove the the biases. The world is scary, so you might as well just do everything you want to do and just live your life. And that's amazing for your friend, though. NASA is, wow.
She's amazing. She doesn't work for them anymore, but she's so dope.
Just like have that on your resume. Like, oh, no big deal. Just, just little job I had.
It's casual. And she's so casual about it, and I brag about her.
I love that. I love like the friends supporting friends. I mean, like you said, in this crazy world, you have to support each other. So how do you see within the next, I guess, few years or so, how do you see the music industry evolving?
I don't know.
What do you hope for it to kind of turn into?
I would love to see a return to live shows, like, just with a lot. AI makes me nervous. Like, we're already seeing like artists that, it was this banjo player I think I saw, and she basically, an AI was fed, an AI music, whatever, was fed her videos, and then created all of these AI songs based off of her music. And then this company like posted them, and then her original videos got flagged as copyright infringement. And it got fixed already because she posted about it and was like, YouTube doesn't get involved in this. YouTube is like, oh, we're out of that. So she was like, I don't know what to do. And it got taken off because there was enough public eyes that got put on it. But how many more times is that going to happen to people, where an AI is fed their original art gets flagged as copyright because this fucking AI slop gets put out that is based on them. I don't know. That all makes me very nervous. I definitely think that we need tighter laws around AI, especially when it comes to what it can and can't pull from people's original art. I just think it's so juvenile right now. Like, it's so early in its stages and it's already becoming a problem.
Terrifying. Yeah.
So I don't know. That makes me nervous. But I think with that, it's kind of like, if there's a pull one way, there's sometimes like a response the other. I think that with AI music maybe sort of becoming more of a thing on the internet, people are going to return hopefully to live shows, like going and seeing it with your own eyes and, with your own body in person, connecting with things and other people, because it's getting harder and harder to discern what you're seeing or hearing on the internet.
Yeah. No, definitely. Do people actually like AI music? I don't understand the pull of it. A person didn't write this from like their experiences or their soul or their. Well, it's just AI. Like, why? How do you connect to that? Like, why would you like? Like, why would you like this or support it? I don't understand at all. Like, why people would be for AI in music or like just AI in any kind of like creative space. So many artists like just in existence making music on not just, the basic streaming service. You go to Bandcamp, you go to SoundCloud, you can find so many people that will fulfill whatever you need to hear or feel with music.
Yeah.
And you're choosing to listen to AI or like people that are developing AI artists.
Yeah.
I can go off on a whole tangent for like ever on that. Have you seen the Disney movie Pixel Perfect?
Oh my God.
Where he like has the hologram and she becomes like a pop star.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh my God.
That's like what it reminds me of. It's like he had like his best friend who wanted to be the star, but they were like, oh no, she's not good enough. We're gonna take this hologram and make her the star. And it just feels like we're living in that universe with that and Smart House.
Yeah.
All the decoms.
And I grew up wanting the Stuck in the Suburbs. Rock star ends up at your door. Christopher Drew just shows up at my house.
Exactly. Living life. And you were also living High School Musical because you liked music and you were a jock. Yeah. So you were just all of
I was wrapped in
one. Yeah. It's so weird. We're like Disney was just mapping out. It was predicting the future, just like The Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly.
In their own way. It's a weird time with AI. I feel like a lot of people have brought that up and just kind of like are worried about, are there going to be like legal actions taken about certain things? I think that, like, sad as it is, I think that they'll kind of let the reins go and then it won't be pulled in until it affects somebody directly that is like a lawmaker or somebody that like is a CEO or somebody, and they're like, this affected my life, so now I'm gonna try to make a law about it.
And like I said, maybe a silver lining of it is that people return more to a local scene and
more like DIY. I want to get back to that.
What are people like community making? Like what's happening?
Yeah, exactly. I think like a rebellious kind of nature in a way, like kind of going against what's going on right now.
Which was what all has always. I mean, all is a counterculture.
We got to rise up against it. Exactly. Yeah. So what are your plans with Neverlyn and yourself this year? You said that you are going to be announcing some shows pretty soon, but we have anything else to expect from you? And you can say
it's so up in the air. I feel like I've just been like edged by the music industry like my entire life. It's like, just constant like possible opportunities, and then it doesn't work out, and then maybe this, and then it doesn't happen. So I don't know. We have some stuff that is kind of circling We'll see if any of it lands. It's not anything we can like talk about publicly, but we'll see if any of it lands, and time will tell.
I hope everything that you want to happen this year happens for you. I hope like the offers, come through and everything gets solidified in that way, because you never know with the industry and everything.
But otherwise, I'm just working shows. I just was at Lamb of God last night, working merch, and do a couple festivals this year probably. And I teach yoga, so teaching my yoga classes, and
see, I guess like you do everything.
I keep myself busy. That's for sure.
Exactly. Are you going on tour with anybody to like work with them?
No, nothing booked as of now, but we'll see what the year holds. Maybe.
It's only I was gonna say it's only March. It's only April.
Yeah.
I don't know what time zone we're in or what month we're in anymore. For the listeners who are like familiar with your music and everything, where can they find you?
We are all over. Wherever you listen to music, you can find us. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. I feel like there's other. What's the old one? Pandora. I think we're on Pandora.
Okay. I was not thinking that at all. I forget there are Pandora listeners. Right. Sorry.
I know, that's why I'm like, sorry. The old one.
Just all the streaming services, and then what's like your social like handles?
Neverlyn CA.
Easy. Yep. Yes, people better go and listen. Like I said, they had a new record that came out last year, Another Coffin. Listen to it. You'll enjoy it, as well as the rest of your catalog. Take a day and listen to everything.
You can follow me directly if you want to keep up on woo-woo shenanigans. That's right.
If they want to get a reading and all the other services you provide, why not? I might take up a tarot reading service.
I would love it.
Just to see what's going to happen.
What's the vibe
am I giving? Let's see. What's the vibe? All right. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. So good to see you.
Yes, yeah, you too.